Throw Lexie Hull to the back burner. Sophie Cunningham comes back from injury. You throw Lexie Hull to the back burner. If you think Lexie Hull and her agent are not thinking about this, you have another thing coming. And if you think you are going to be able to get Lexie Hull back for dirt cheap, you have lost your mental.
Lexie Hull, broken, betrayed, and blindsided in front of the entire world. All because the WNBA commissioner and even her own coach decided she no longer fit their plan. But what they didn't see coming was what happened next.
Cannot afford to lose. I've been preaching on that. I've been telling y'all, Lexie Hull is a big part of the system. I feel like we need to focus on keeping her by any means necessary. The article goes on to say, after coming within a single win of reaching the WNBA finals, the Indiana
Caitlin Clark stood up and said, "You can't do this. Not to her, not to my teammate." This time, she wasn't just fighting for herself. She was fighting for Lexie, for her team, and for the truth the WNBA tried to bury. Before we dive in, do you think Lexie Hull deserves better? Comment, "Stand with Lexie" below. Hit that like button, and let's uncover what's really happening in Indiana. It all started with a decision that shocked everyone. Lexie Hull, one of the hardest working players on the Indiana Fever, was suddenly benched. And then live on TV, she was told, "You're out of the rotation." Her face said it all. The disbelief, the pain, the humiliation. Fans were furious. Why her? Why would you target a player who's given everything for her team? Behind the scenes, sources say this wasn't about performance. It was about politics. The WNBA wanted to control Caitlin Clark, and the easiest way to weaken her was to take away her strongest ally.
Straight up disrespected her. They acted as if Lexie Hull was not a part of the core four who helped turn this team around. It wasn't just CCAB and Kelsey. No, Lexie Hull was a huge part of that.
They started cutting the people closest to her. Everyone knew Lexie Hull and Caitlin Clark's chemistry was real. On the court, off the court, they had each other's backs. But the league didn't like that. They saw unity. They saw power. And to them, that was a threat. One by one, Caitlin's circle began to shrink. Teammates cut, ignored, pushed aside, while the commissioner and certain executives pretended nothing was wrong. But Caitlin noticed. She saw the pattern. And when Lexie became the next target, she snapped. "She's not going anywhere," Caitlin said behind closed doors. "You cut Lexie, you lose everything." Those words echoed through the locker room. It wasn't a threat. It was a promise. Because Caitlin Clark knows her worth. She's the face of the league. The reason fans are watching, buying tickets, tuning in every night. And yet, the WNBA treated her teammates like they were disposable. "Why punish the people who support me?" she asked. No one had an answer.
White got here. Stephanie White came to the Indiana Fever and straight up disregarded everything Lexie Hull did the year before. You came in, you brought DeWanna the Scammer Bonner. You started her. She 59 and a half years old in her 38th WNBA season. You decide to start her, give her a max contract, and throw Lexie Hull to the back burner. You think Lexie Hull don't remember that? You think Lexie don't remember that? All of a sudden, DeWanna Bonner quits on the team. She's no sh-
Caitlin Clark turned her head, stone-faced. She knew, after the game, she didn't hold back. "I'm not okay with what's happening," she said. And that's when everything started to unravel. Scene 4, the breaking point. Reports began to leak, whispers of a roster restructure. Before the 2026 expansion draft, it sounded professional on paper, but insiders said it was personal. Coach Stephanie White had allegedly clashed with Caitlin multiple times over control of the team. And when Lexie defended Caitlin during a heated practice, that was it. She was labeled a distraction. A player once known for loyalty suddenly became a problem. And the commissioner? She turned a blind eye. Then came that game, the one everyone remembers. Lexie Hull sitting on the bench, eyes full of tears, cameras zooming in, the announcer's voice cracking. "It seems like something's going on with the Fever bench." You could feel it, the tension, the betrayal, the silence. Then Caitlin spoke. "You can't treat players like that." That one sentence broke the internet. Justice for Lexie started trending within hours. Fans flooded WNBA pages demanding answers. Why is the commissioner silent? Why is the coach still here? For the first time, even WNBA owners began questioning leadership. Because the truth was spreading, this wasn't about basketball anymore. It was about control over who speaks, who shines, and who survives. When reporters asked Caitlin what comes next, she looked straight into the camera and said, "I don't care about their politics. I care about my team, and Lexie is part of that team." That line hit like a bomb. Behind the scenes, executives panicked. Sponsors started asking questions. Networks called demanding explanations. Because when Caitlin Clark speaks, the world listens. And now, the world knows what's really been happening behind those locker room doors.
What did Stephanie White do, y'all? Threw Lexie Hull to the back burner again and benched her. for no apparent reason. And I'm going to show you because I remember the cluster of games where I'm looking, I'm like, damn, Lexie not getting no minutes. She's not getting any minutes. This cluster of games right here, Lexie Hull, she played 15 minutes, 18 minutes, 14 minutes.
They tried to control the narrative, press statements, PR posts, fake smiles, but the damage was already done. You can't silence authenticity, you can't silence heart, and you can't silence Lexie Hull's tears because they were real, and you definitely can't silence Caitlin Clark when she's fighting for justice. Sources say the WNBA front office is now under heavy pressure from ownership to explain their decisions. Rumors suggest major internal reviews are underway, and even talk of removing certain officials who fueled the chaos. Caitlin, she's focused, she's angry, and she's more powerful than ever. Because now everyone knows, if you go after her team, you go after her. At the end of her last press conference, Caitlin left fans with a line they won't forget. They can't break us. Not now, not ever. Lexie stood beside her, tears still in her eyes, but this time, she was smiling. Because she knew she wasn't alone anymore. What do you think? Should the WNBA apologize to Lexie Hull and Caitlin Clark for this treatment? Comment, protect Caitlin and Lexie. If you stand with them, hit that like button, subscribe for more truth-telling stories like this, and share this video, because people need to see what's really happening behind the scenes.